Why are there so many women today who say they don't need a man?
I mean, because if they want to go 50-50 on things, I just don't need them.
Because there's a lot of bum-ass men out in the world who don't do enough, so us women can supply for ourselves now.
Because they're feminists and they like to be feminists.
If a man has friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid and hires a prostitute, why would a man need a woman?
I don't know how to answer this question.
Because of human connection, of meaningful connection, to correct myself. Just there's nothing that replaces the authenticity of a partnership.
Right, there you go.
Men need women in a sense because, I don't know, like, they need our love. You know what I mean?
True. You can't really get true intimacy with a prostitute. You can bust a nut, but that's about it.
Why do women proudly chant, "Pussy runs the world," but then also complain guys only want sex?
I don't know why they complain about that, but pussy definitely runs the world. You can make a man do a lot of things.
Does pussy actually run the world, or does it just control the men who built and maintain the world?
You know what? I feel attacked by that statement.
Because men cannot live without sex.
And it really does run the world.
I think it only controls weak men. I don't think pussy runs any strong men. In fact, the men that rule the world, pussy bends for them. You know what I mean? They, don't control a strong man. A strong man can replace the woman.
Women rule the world, but pussy just manages it.
Do you think there was ever a time when pussy didn't run the world?
No, women's always been the neck of the foundation. The men is just the head. We draw shit.
Wouldn't that mean women always had power?
Yes, but men cannot accept women having power, so we just have to stand in the back and pretend that we don't have power and use a reverse psychology and just like pretend that we don't, because they like to say they right, so we just like, all right, and give you the idea, and then you just say, yeah, it's your idea, okay.
So why are women complaining about past oppression if they always had pussy power?
They want equal rights, and that's bullshit.
Personally, I just think they kind of like are backwards in their reasoning on most things. You know what I mean? They want to feel a certain amount of power, and that's the only thing that they can kind of reach to say that they have this power over males. So,
do you think there was ever a time when pussy didn't run the world?
Probably not, no.
Wouldn't that mean that women always had power?
Yeah, they definitely did, but we just make men do all the, hard labor work.
Women say they want equal rights, but then when a man talks to them the way they talk to another man, then they say, oh, you're offending me, or oh, you're doing this. But if you want equal rights and you want to be treated equally, then it has to be like always. Like, it can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna put my hand on a man, and then like when he does it back, like, oh, I'm a woman. But you want equal rights, or you want to like put yourself in a man's position, but then you don't want like the actions to come. But only actions you want is beneficial actions.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Not a lot, and that should change.
Society it's set up for that.
How do we change that?
Great question.
Let women take over.
Change the mindsets.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Christina Aguilera. She is my idol. Janis Joplin, she's my idol. I am a singer-songwriter, and they have never based sex off of their career because they are so talented to do that.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Not one. Not one.
Are men more likely to use power to get sex, or are women more likely to use sex to get power?
Ooh. I think women are more likely to use sex to get power.
What is the difference between sexually empowering women versus sexually objectifying women?
I personally don't think there is a difference. I think those are the same thing, one and the same. I think they basically are. It's almost like if someone's using reverse psychology on you, like they want to be able to use your sexuality to advertise things. They want to be able to use your sexuality for whatever purpose that they twist the woman into. All they have to do is, it's kind of like in the Bible, they said, no, you should want to be like God, or the serpent said you could be like God. The woman falls into that very easily. So her head gets blown up, call it empowerment, and she'll do whatever she thinks is empowering.
So isn't it entirely subjective?
Yes, all of it.
Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
Yes. I think it's all a trick to take advantage of them.
Most female-dominated industries are sex or beauty related, correct?
Yes. That's the way things are right now. That should change.
Well, right, but why would women want to give up their power if they can use it to,
Because it shouldn't be the only power that we're able to hold in society.
Well, whether it should
When
or...
you don't give women a fair chance to gain power, they're going to do whatever it takes.
Well, is there anything stopping women from getting power any other way?
Yes. Men.
Well, I mean, but men also give women their power, correct?
Not enough of it.
Well, obviously, if all
Not
the
in
men...
the ways it matters.
If all the men in the world were gay, how would women get power?
They should just
Because they're
everyone should
fucking
have
women.
What does that mean?
They're strong and better than men.
Well, right, but I'm saying if women couldn't use sex to control men, then how would they get power?
Skip.
Women are more likely to use sex to get power.
What is the difference between sexually empowering women versus sexually objectifying women?
Okay, sexually empowering women would definitely mean like uplifting and like complimenting, like, "Ooh, girl, you look good," but not too close, because it could easily be turned into, "Ooh, girl, you look too good." That's a whole ass snack, and then now that's harassment. So there's a fine line in between the two.
Well, isn't it entirely subjective?
Subjective to your own intentions, yes. Like, so maybe your tone of voice or your implication in the fact, or however you were trying to come off at the matter, So I think it all has to do with the subject to intention, right?
Men don't have a say in women's sex life.
Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
No.
Does the fact that porn and OnlyFans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
No. It means that we can use our body the way that we want to without men's control.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
Yes.
Yes.
And if you don't, you suck.
Why are women more accepting of women who can sell sex, but are less likely to accept a man who can buy it?
Because it's empowering to be able to do what you want with your body when you want to be able to do it.
But isn't that like shaming your own customers?
No.
Well, how can you be a victim of your own product?
Because it's my fucking body.
My body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
Why do women often claim victimhood by the very thing they use to empower themselves?
I believe in that question. I do believe that women they do that Me Too shit, and I don't believe in that. Like you say you want to like empower yourself and then use this as like a beneficial factor, but then you claim victim, and I think it's just a money aspect.
Does the fact that porn and OnlyFans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
No. Well, yeah, for porn stars and OnlyFans, because they get that dough. They're millionaires off OnlyFans.
Why is porn legal but prostitution isn't?
Tell me that. Why? And tell me this. Why can you go out and have sex with 20 million men for free and then nothing happens? But as soon as you want to put a price on your worth, it's illegal. Hello. That's the question.
Do you believe all adults have sexual needs?
Of course.
Of course, you couldn't
Buy
live
a
life.
vibrator.
You could not live life without sex. It's impossible.
Should lonely men be expected to satisfy their sexual needs by watching porn?
Yes and no. If they're really desperate, then yes. But if they can wait for a woman, then they should not watch porn.
They can if that's what they want. Then I think that it should go that way, or buy prostitutes.
If so, why would men still crave sex when porn is free and available all over the internet?
Because you don't get you know how long it takes for you to find the right porn.
Because women don't understand that men actually are more horny than women themselves. And they actually need a sex life, otherwise they cannot function at all. And I know that because I've had like ex-boyfriends that cannot live without sex.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
Not really, no.
But do you think most women consider sex work to be real work?
Yeah, the empowerment thing, trying to, you know, make it sound like it's more than it is so that they can feel good about it kind of thing. But I don't believe it is real work at all.
Why are women more accepting of women who can sell sex but are less likely to accept a man who can buy it?
Ooh, that's a good question. More double standards. Just they don't like reality very much.
Isn't that shaming your own customers?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Isn't that like complaining about crackheads while you're selling crack?
Exactly the same, yeah.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Ooh. Not really, to be honest with you. I can't say I think we'd be better as a society at all. Not really.
Yes, I do consider sex work is real work. We're the work of all time. We're gonna last longer than any other industry. We've been here all before, okay, and we're still gonna be here. When computers and everything take over, they're still gonna want a physical woman to get it done, okay? We're gonna be here.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Why?
Everybody would be happy.
Honestly, no, because I think we need to go back to old school values more so than this like do you boo boo type of thing that's going on. I think it's more important to re-register ourselves with old school values, being committed, and you know, making that investment into each other and making that commitment, because it's scary, yeah, but it means something. It means a lot more.
Do you think the solution could be prostitution, the world's oldest institution?
Yes. I don't see anything wrong with prostitution as long as it's consensual, legal, and safe.
I think the solution is always prostitution, but it's a way of saying like that, because not prostitution is sex work. Because prostitution is like it's like a derogatory term, and it's meant to like say like people on the corner or like a less than person. Sex work is more like therapy, spending time, not just like that, because it's not always that. It's more to, we're more than just that.
Well, what about when it's like done, you know, in brothels as opposed to streetwalkers?
No, okay, so that's when they can put a price on it, then that's when it's okay. But it's like, you're not gonna tax me for my body. Like, how dare you try to tax me, or like I have to pay for your service, like, and I'm the one doing the service. Like, no, I do not believe in that. Like, no, how can you tax us for something that's done for free every fucking day? No.
Wouldn't relationships be built on love rather than sex and manipulation?
I think that the opposite would happen if prostitution was legalized.
Well, if a guy could get sex anytime he wanted, really easily, why would he need to be in a relationship for any reason other than love?
Because if you're in a relationship for love, you should be able to get sex anytime you want to and not find it elsewhere.
I don't think any of the relationships are built on love anyway. Like, I think all of this is a big excuse. Like, we're making excuses just to go about this daily dance.
Wouldn't women be more accountable and make more effort to create loving relationships?
Yes, I believe so.
Wouldn't it remove any legal liabilities for men trying to get sex?
Yes.
Wouldn't it remove the possibility of rejection?
Yeah.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be government regulated and generate tax revenue?
Yeah, like I mean, I heard it's certain places near Nevada and near in Las Vegas where they actually making tax money off of it. Hey, people gonna do it regardless. It's just gonna happen.
So can you think of any reasons not to legalize it?
No.
Do you think if prostitution was cheap and accessible, we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Yes. And safe.
Safer society, because it would be included in law and protected by law.
So don't women often look for sugar daddies and men often look for trophy wives?
Yes.
Don't women often look for sugar daddies and men look for trophy wives?
Yes.
Do you believe it's generally true men objectify women sexually while women objectify men financially?
Absolutely.
Isn't it generally true that men seek the hottest woman they can afford while women seek the richest man they can attract?
Definitely.
Don't men want trophy wives and women want sugar daddies?
That's the game.
So how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
That's all it is. It's prostitution in slow motion, low key.
So then why would it be bad to legalize it if it's already happening?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you got me on that one, I guess. Yeah.
Why should men pay for the opportunity to maybe get sex instead of just paying for sex?
I I know. Go with the sure thing. I would go with the sure thing instead of taking a woman out and spending $200 on dinner. You know, might as well just give her that $200 and get to it.
You're paying for the time and the woman's worth. You're not paying for an action or a transaction.
But wouldn't the marketplace determine what the woman's worth is?
No, the woman determines her worth.
Well, she can ask a certain price, but
Yeah, she can ask, and if he feels that she's valuable enough, then he will supply that demand.
wouldn't it end simping and shift the sexual marketplace to where women have to compete for the men?
I guess I don't really see how it does that.
Well, why should men pay for the opportunity to get sex instead of just paying for sex?
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Yeah, it kind of, it kind of swaps some power around a bit. I can see that.
Wouldn't it also flood the market and drive the prices down?
No.
Well, obviously, you know, if you had just like an influx of women selling sex, there'd be a greater supply, right?
But who's to say there would be an influx?
Well, obviously, you know, look how many women are doing OnlyFans right now.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, obviously, if
OnlyFans and prostitution is not the same thing. Selling your body for sex and selling your body not for sex are two totally different things. However, a woman should be able to do whatever she wants with her body, just like a man can.
So lastly, do you think if prostitution was cheap and accessible, there'd be less rape and sexual violence?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but I think if men could be able to get it up a little bit more for women that are willing, there would be a lot less crime.
Do you think that grape is about sex or about power?
Power. Power and control.
So if grape isn't about sex, if it's all about power, why wouldn't evil men just assault women and not bother having sex with them?
But some do.
Right, but isn't it really all about power and also sex?
No, I feel like it's more about power and control, and feeling like that you took something like that is just priceless, but you have that, like, that you did that and that you violate that person in that way, that you have some type of like that you have that over that person, like.
Right, but I mean, like, you know, whenever a guy would get robbed or mugged or beat up and stuff, why don't they have sex with
that's
men?
a valuable. That's like materialistic stuff. But when you like put a price on that, and then it still get taken as like you're not only robbing me, but you're violating and doing that also. So it's like a combine of like violations.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yes.
Do you think there would be less rape and sexual assault?
Yes.
In some cases, men see someone who is a prostitute as a way to take out their frustrations because they're paying her.
Sure, but I mean, if it was done safely with brothels and regulated, then wouldn't that be less likely to happen?
Possibly, possibly not. It depends on how well the brothel is run as a
Right, but I'm
business.
saying, I mean, why would that be any more likely to happen than, you know, in just any normal monogamous relationship?
Very good point.
If you are putting a profit on it or you're not, there's always that sick individual that's still going to want to just take what's not theirs, even if it has a price on it.
I don't think it would eliminate it entirely, but you don't even think that it might even reduce the numbers? No. Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Probably, that's possible, yeah.
Do you think there would be less rape and sexual assault?
I think people are always going to do that off of some seeking power over someone else sort of thing. But yeah, if anyone who's graping out of desperation, I think absolutely you have a solution there. But
don't you think it would reduce it at least?
Yeah, I mean, you would have an impact on some numbers, but yeah, you're always going to have somebody, like I said, trying to exercise power.